some of the top strategies for demolition firms to maximize profitability and be able to win way more opportunities. Let's face it, demo businesses should be making money, guys. You got to make profit, got to make revenue, got to make sure that the margins are there, and obviously you got to serve clients really well. So number one is accurate cost estimating. This can be such a massive aspect that can mess up everything. You have to make sure that you guys cover the bases and the costs, got to make sure that you look at the requirements of the project. You got to think of the labor, the equipment, whether it's going to be rented, whether it's owned, the materials required, permitting, things like the disposal and the dump. All of that are so important. You guys have to lead with good estimation. Your estimating team should always be going through training and making sure that they know what the latest and greatest is. If you guys don't factor in scrap and things of that nature, it can really make a big difference. Number two, efficient resource allocation. You guys obviously have to be good at making sure that there's profitability and the ability to win opportunities. And that's kind of where it gets shaken out, is to be able to win more opportunities. You have to, frankly, have a lot of leads and a lot of options, but you also have to really be smart on your manpower, your equipment, your materials, etc., and follow the timelines that are going to get you guys to have winning deals that can also be profitable, and you guys could still have a nice margin. You got to make sure that you optimize those resources. You got to make sure that you're keeping an eye on the waste and that your team is moving, keeping costs where they need to be. Hopefully there's not a lot of change orders, things of that nature, and that way your bids could be tight in terms of being able to get opportunities where the numbers look good to who you're working with. And then you guys obviously have to be able to perform under that, so that way you're not losing money on your deals or just breaking even. Number three is streamlined operations. Obviously, you guys got to have a good thing there with your bidding process. You have to be able to make sure that you guys are not just sending something and hoping that it gets taken, but sending it and following up, ensuring that the bottlenecks and inefficiencies are taken care of. Have something that is really focused on technology where you can, automations, things like having a good CRM, and being able to, again, be old school to some extent where you guys are texting, calling, emailing, manually as well as automatically to make sure that you guys can be profitable as well as competitive to get more deals out there in the marketplace. Number four, differentiation and value added services. So a lot of people can do certain projects. Let's call it for what it is. You may be one of many of people for certain projects, but if you guys can use specialized techniques, if you guys have solutions that maybe are cost cutting for the client, just being able to do different things like remediation, scrap recycling, site redevelopment. So you're not just going to tear down, but you're going to help them get it kind of tight, ready to go for the next thing. That stuff is very valuable where people can look at things and say, wow, these guys are a one-stop shop. And I actually like that because they also have a good reputation. I can trust that they can cover all these bases and do it in a manner where maybe we can get a wholesale pricing, or we can get things just tighter from the workflow as well as the bidding and competitiveness. Number five is strategic marketing and business development. You guys got to have good marketing and business action. You guys got to have your estimating team, your sales team, etc., where they can have a lot of opportunities, be able to bid on those well, and be able to actually get profitability out of those deals. So being able to have your website tight, your SEO, your content marketing, through Google and Bing, Yahoo, those sorts of things, it helps get a very frothy top line of the funnel that then you guys can almost cherry pick opportunities and really be able to win rather quickly than always just hoping that things work out and that you can grow and scale. If you have a frothy top line funnel with a good process, you're golden. Number six is risk management. You guys really got to keep an eye on making sure that you can win as much as possible and mitigate the risks, such as, the costs, such as hazards, change orders. You need to really kind of make sure that you cover those bases up front rather than trying to chase it on the back. So that way you don't have delays, you don't have issues with your profit disappearing or kind of being siphoned out. You really got to make sure that your bids are competitive and attractive, as well as covering your downside of losing money or breaking even on jobs.